Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Heather, and welcome to Yellow Outdoors.
Today we're going to share the 5 pros and cons of downsizing from a Class A diesel pusher to a Class B Mercedes Sprinter van.
And we're going to go over the 5 pros and 5 cons. That's what we want to bring to you today.
The reason I want to show this video is because I came from the Class A and Class C RVs. So for Heather getting me into the Class B and changing my mind on this, I really want to share the 5 pros and cons.
It took some persuasion.
Took a lot of persuasion. The good news is that this year our goal was to be in all the national parks and do a lot of smaller locations, off the beaten path, no cell phone coverage. So we're going to share what we learned over the last year in our Class B Mercedes Winnebago era Sprinter vans. It's continuous. When we pull off somewhere, we're always getting asked. Someone walks up to us and wants to know more about the van life is like. So,
why did you go from that big luxury vehicle to this? And we just want to bring you our opinion of the 5 pros and cons. So let's do it.
All right, so for the 5 pros and cons of the Winnebago era Sprinter van, again, going from the Class A diesel pusher, towing a Jeep Wrangler, versus now going to the Sprinter van. This is 24 feet, much smaller, much more nimble. I'm able to get in and out so quick and easy. Just 2 side doors and the sliding door. The sliding door is super efficient and easy. We shot so much video of being able to open it. Heather's in here and she's driving down the road in National Park and she's shooting out the side of this. So
probably not the smartest thing to do, but we were going slow.
Yeah, we're going really slow. There's no one behind us, but this is so nimble. It's, you can see the way the van is set up. There's no slides in it. So we were able to go to our friends and family's driveways, deed restricted communities, pull in, plug in a 110. If they had a 30 amp or a 50 amp, we can plug that in. A lot of times we just ran off of our solar, depending on where we were going.
So basically our first pro is that it's so easy to get into. One of the main reasons of why we bought this is, or how I convinced him, is that I can drive it. Right. And that's the small and nimble part that I love, that we can pull into a grocery store, regular parking lot. I can drive it, feel super comfortable. And I would say that's like our first pro.
Number 2 reason we chose a Sprinter van is fuel efficiency. The Mercedes V6 diesel, I'm getting between 18 and 22 miles per gallon, which I think is incredible. I was going about 500 miles on a tank.
How much does it cost, would you say, to fill up this gas tank as opposed to our other one?
I paid anywhere, so we think the gas prices across the country now are anywhere from $4.30 diesel up to $6.20, depending on what state you're in. Generally, our Class A diesel was, $150, $200 to fill it up, the full tank. Now with gas prices the way they are, I can fill this up for around $75 to $100 and get around 18 to 22 miles per gallon. I pull up to any diesel love or traffic thing, I can get here, open it up, fill the gas up really quick and easy. The van's running, it's easy getting out of. There's, most of my Class A didn't have a door, so I have to get out and walk around. And I can pretty much pull up in any regular car diesel area. I don't have to go around to the big RV plugs or the big RV gas pumps. All right, so the third reason I really like the Winnebago era, it's so easy to park anywhere, pull up anywhere and just plug in. So I just grab the 30-foot cord out of the storage area, tighten it up, and then I plug into a 30 amp, or I can use my 110. But it's that simple. What's also nice is a lot of my friends and my brother, he bought a new Tesla. So he has a 50 amp plug right in his garage, so I could plug in the adapter here for my 30 amp and have plenty of power to run the AC at his house in his driveway. So sewer wise, I've noticed a lot about this. There's plenty to hold because we're going day to day. Heather and I are going day to day. So we only dump about every 2 or 3 or 4 days, depending on how long we've been out been out the road. So just pop this up. It has the macerator built in. And I will do a separate video on this, but it's easy to hook up the sewer right here. We do use the outdoor shower. We can wash off Willie, or we can wash our feet or clean ourselves off right here. So we do have this right here. And then the propane, so far propane wise, easy. I've been using U-Haul, Tractor Supply. It's been my best 2 bets for getting propane. We go to Tractor Supply anyway, sometimes to wash Willie, so we sometimes do a 2-in-1. Heather's washing Willie, I'm filling up her propane at Tractor Supply, getting some supply. The reason I love this Winnebago era is the size. I've gone into so many different places. We're going to getting housewarming gift for friends. We're going into pick up food, pull right up front, right inside the regular spot. You can see it's 24 feet long. It's not wide. There's no slides. Height's about nine, a little about 9.5 feet with the awning. But it's so easy to drive and it's so easy to park. I've parked this thing anywhere, driving through, circle parking lots, waiting for Heather to go in and grab something. That's a huge advantage for me.
And the national parks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we've been able to
So
find real good parking.
So
fast.
nimble wise, yes. I mean, going in the national parks right through the front gate where we can park in any normal spot at car parks. I've had no problems. Again, I'm used to driving a 40-foot diesel towing a Jeep. So I always feel like I'm cheating when I'm driving this because I can park anywhere, back in, forward, wherever I need to get sideways. I have plenty of room to fit the Winnebago. What's really nice is going up all the mountains, right? This is a 3-liter V6 diesel. I think it's a couple hundred horsepower. I'll put the specs on there. But going up and down the hills, navigating the hills and the hairpin turns, it's a breeze. There's no heavy lifting. It's very easy to drive. I don't feel pressure trying to brake or down the hills. It's so light and nimble. Makes it very easy for me to drive around the national parks and across the country.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the number 5 because I do all the cooking. And I know in a lot of our, like in the luxury RVs we've had before, again, while you're driving down the road, you can come back here and cook. But this one is just as good too. You've got a nice large sink that I can do stuff in here, prepare while he's driving. I haven't cooked while we're driving, but honestly, when we stop, this gas 3-burner, I've only used one, but this one is super easy. I like it. It's efficient. It heats up really fast. So for me, I would have to say the 5th thing. There's no difference cooking in this kitchen and the storage that it gives as opposed to the big luxury one that we did have. Maybe it doesn't have as big a refrigerator, but it's everything that we need it for.
And what about pulling off at a rest stop or pulling off just at a normal easy parking spot? We can cook anywhere.
Yeah, that's been one thing that we do a lot of is just stop at rest stops and make breakfast or different things. And we have all of this, like everything you have in this kitchen is everything that you would have in your luxury kitchen.
There's a convection microwave behind you.
Convection oven, microwave. Again, tons of storage. I haven't lacked for any storage in this at all.
All right, one of the cons that I really miss from my Class A or Class C's is an auto leveling system. There's no leveling jacks on this, so I have to make sure when I go into a dry camping spot or go to an RV, I have no jacks. So I have to adjust the RV. It's easy to get it. It's easy to move around and adjust, but if there's no level spots, I got to search for one and back up somewhere. I do have a manual leveling system that I can use, but I'm so used to pulling out, pushing the button, let it auto level. That's one of the cons I don't like. There's no, on this particular Class B, there's no auto leveling jacks. And that's one that I do not like. The number 2 con of the Class B is storage. Right now, the only storage I have, this is what I call my 3-car garage, because it has 3 buttons. But this is the storage here. Just underneath the couch is only storage I have. So I have to take very limited storage underneath here. I do keep my manual leveling, some jumper cables, some flares and stuff. But other than that, that's all the storage I have. So I'm used to all the basement storage, large sections. So when we pack light. We pack for 3 or 4 weeks. We're gonna pack very light, the minimum amount of tools I need to take to make it across the country in these parks. But this is all the storage I have. You can see in there, it's very small. This is the table. We converted to the bed. These 2 pieces right here, so that goes. We'll show you how that looks like in a future video. The number 3rd con is this is not a cold weather RV. In my Class A diesels, I've always had heated tanks. I can stay where it's pretty cold. Currently, I have everything's underneath. There's a whole freshwater tank right here and a black and gray water. They're at the very bottom. There's no heating elements on them whatsoever. All the plumbing is exposed right underneath. So luckily, we're moving every day. So if it gets in the 20s, next morning we'll go and I'll have the RV going and the tank's empty. But it's not been a cold, not really good cold weather RV that I've experienced, similar to my Class A's or Class C's. All right, another con is the service. So if I do the service at 10,000 mile increments, it costs around $1,000 every 10,000 miles.
What was that opposed to like when you had the Class A?
The Class A, depending on the Class A diesel, the intervals are a little bit different. We're putting a lot of miles on this because we're going so many places. So the Class C, the Ford front ends, much cheaper to service. The Ford or Chevy, Class C's, or the Class A Ford or Chevys, generally cost you $50 for an oil change or $100. This generally, when you do everything, is almost $1,000 to do all the different service increments.
Do they make the vans in not diesel or anything?
Yeah, there's some other
cheaper?
Ford vans out there which we can show, but I'm running the Mercedes 3500 diesel. I want to run diesel. I just like the diesel engines better. I feel like they're more efficient. I'm getting better gas mileage. Just a personal preference of me. They last longer. They're quieter. So that's just my personal preference. But again, there's the Class B transit vans that are also gas, or the ProMaster Ram are also gas. But we chose the Sprinter van. I feel like when you look at the Class Bs, this is the best of the best, having this 3500 dual axle Sprinter van.
So I'm going to say number 5 for me is that it's too small for more than 2 people. We're 2 people and we have a dog, and I think it's perfect. We kind of have to do this every once in a while and say who's going where. But if you're going to do full timing like we did before, it can be done. I just think it's a lot harder and maybe not as comfortable to do more than 2 people. I know that a lot of people use them just as their family vans. That's a great idea. And I know people even camp with them with their families. Personally, I couldn't do that, but a lot of people can.
So what about the shower?
Okay, the shower. That almost made me not want to buy it, but on the other hand, I weighed the pros and cons and I liked all the pros. But the shower is definitely a con for me in the space thing. Because I had a luxury RV before where you had big showers, and this is it. But I'm going to say it hasn't posed any problems. We just don't shower in it. But this is it. So you have your toilet. Plenty. It's fine. It's a toilet. It's great. Shower. I honestly will never shower in here. I don't even understand. I mean, you can rinse your feet and stuff, and that's great like that. But I don't know how you keep the water in.
There's a shower curtain.
Yeah, there's a shower curtain, but I'm not going to chance it and shower in here. There's so many other places that we take showers, parks, state parks, wherever we can do that. Has a nice sink, I like that, but other than that, no shower. When Chris talked about storage before, this is what it looks like now. And it's great, like if you were towing kids and there's seat belts back here and everything. But for us, we leave it up as a bed the entire time. I do that mainly because it gives me all the storage underneath here.
Yeah,
this is all
right
storage.
here.
This whole area gives me storage to put everything we need, and I leave the bed up the entire time. So like and subscribe to our channel so you can find more about our year in the van.